In 2014, 141,003 people were living in Dayton. That may not seem like a lot comparatively, but for the organization that I'm about to talk to you today, it has a very specific purpose. Alton Alexander is one of the many pastors at Vineyard Church in Dayton. He says their motto is to leave Dayton better than they found it. Now, I've worked at Vineyard Church for about a year, and I had started in the student ministries department, and now I've moved to the creative arts and communications department. So I like to think that I have kind of an inside view. Now, Vineyard Church was started about 20 years ago, a little bit more than that, by two pastors by the names of Doug Rowe and Scott Sliver. Now, they had both previously worked at Vineyard Cincinnati, the church in Vineyard in Cincinnati, but they felt like God had been calling them to start a church in Dayton based on, they just wanted to show God's love to the people in Dayton, and they didn't feel like, they felt like they were the people to do that. So Doug he became the pastor, and Scott became the worship leader, and they still work at Dayton Vineyard today. Now, in the past couple years, in the past over 20 years, Dayton Vineyard has seen immense growth, getting up to over 3,000 people as a peak over the past 20 years. Now, they also have a second campus in Riverdale, which is a section of downtown, and it's a little less, the demographic is different, and it's definitely like a poorer area, so it's like a really cool opportunity for outreach and things like that. Vineyard Church in Dayton, if there's one word we use to describe them, often it would be outreach. People know any Vineyard Church for their outreach. And in that, there's many serving opportunities. So if you like volunteering anywhere, like volunteering at a church is the best place because it's so rewarding. They do a weekly food pantry where they give out free groceries to anyone in need. So people can just come and get free groceries, and they have lots of volunteers that help with that, and I've heard so many amazing things. They also do events like during Halloween they do a festival called Family Fun Fest, where they just open their campus and bring they just invite families to come hang out, so that people that feel uncomfortable during Halloween, or people that just want they just don't want to answer their door to trick-or-treaters, they can just come and hang out and have a good time. There's often like Ferris wheels and carriage rides, and they bring in food trucks. It's just like a really fun experience. And again, those volunteering experiences go great on resumes. They have three church services weekly. They have one on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. and they have two on Sunday, one at 9 a.m. and one at 11:15 a.m. The people that volunteer to help make these possible, they sometimes give between an hour to 10 hours at the most on a weekend. I know a lot of the worship team members give up their Saturdays and Sundays to come play music, and I know that they love it. Again, like, these are great opportunities. They look awesome on resumes. We also are focused on small groups, which is just purely a way to get community and friendship. So if, for people that want more friends, or are struggling with, they even have groups for like people that are struggling with cancer, or know someone struggling with cancer, or someone struggling with alcoholism, they can go and get counseling and healing for that. And they also have teen groups for anyone in middle school and high school, so that they have a place to kind of call their own. Now we want to talk about employment opportunities. People have often thought that churches don't have a lot of employment opportunities or a lot to do, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. There are 6 specific categories at Vineyard Church that we put jobs into. The first is family. They do everything from newborn to high school students, taking care of them on the weekends and creating events for them. And for that job, you have to be very relational, and you have to be really good at working with people. And so I think that's a really good communications fit. Next, like I said earlier, we do groups. It's like anyone that is 20 something or above, or dealing with any of those said issues from before, can come to these groups and find just community and like people to lift them up. And for this, I think you have to be good at relational relationships, and you also have to be good at selling something, because you have to be able to sell the group and get people to come to your group. So I think that's a good, if you're into sales, like that's a good opportunity for you. They also do outreach, like I said earlier. So there's many jobs in outreach, and their job is to find events and invite people to them. So it's kind of like event planning and communications, and they're always looking for ways to help people. Next is facilities, which seems like not a very significant job, but it actually is one of the biggest roles at the Vineyard, because they actually keeps the place running. Like, if without them, the place it would be a struggle to keep the place running and keep it clean and keep it, just get all of the problems fixed. So it's a very important job. Next we have the Creative and Worship Arts Department, which is basically the production of the weekend. So anyone that's in like advertising or communications or PR, like that's where you fit, because you're getting ready, you're setting up all the technology, and you're doing print material, and you're correcting things if they're wrong, and just setting everyone up for success for the weekend services, which is our main goal. And then lastly, we have the head pastor, and he has to lead the church and provide direction. And I think that's a really huge job. Personally, you have to be able to communicate and lead all at the same time. And that's what basically a manager is. He's the manager in this situation. And I think that there are lots of opportunities regardless of what degree you have. I asked Alton what he thought the potential for advancement was in a church setting. And he said it's determined by growth of the church. Like most businesses, as it grows, opportunity grows. So as more people come to your church, there's more opportunities for things to do, and maybe there's another opportunity to lead groups or do this or do that. And then I asked him about new hires, like what is the criteria to be hired at Vineyard Church in Dayton. And he said you have to have spiritual maturity, emotional maturity, and initiative, because if you don't have those three things, those are just really important. So from what I can tell, Vineyard Church in Dayton is really living up to their motto of to leave Dayton better than they found it. And if you'd like to serve people, I think this is a great start. Thank you.